Today we're going to find a polynomial function of degree 3 with the given numbers as zeros. Okay, so let's start with this one first. -1, 0, and 4. First thing I want you to do is to set it up. Now, the leading coefficients, we have to find it using the initial conditions, but first we just write it as a sub 3. Then you're going to write each 0 as a linear factor. So x minus -1, x minus 0, and x minus 4. Okay? Then we simplify these linear factors. Negative times negative is positive, so x plus 1. X minus 0 is just x, and then x minus 4. And then we multiply. X plus 1 times x is x squared plus x. Okay, we distribute that. And then x squared plus x times x minus 4, we need to FOIL. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times -4 is -4. X squared. X times x is x squared. And x times -4 is -4x. Now, it's like I said in the beginning, in order to find the leading coefficient, we need an initial condition. So let's say that f of 1 equals 2. Again, this initial condition is based on the problem and will be given on the problem. Okay? So f of 1 equals 2 means that I'll have to plug in 1 for x and equal it to 2. So f of 1 is a sub 3 times 1 cubed minus 4 times 1 squared plus 1 squared. Oh, I just realized, oh no, minus 4x. 4 times 1. We're good. It's just I could simplify this even further. I just noticed that. So x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x. Sorry about that. Okay, now 1 cubed is 1. Notice here, there's a very common mistake. PEMDAS, you have to do exponents first and then multiply. So 1 squared is 1 times -4 is -4. Plus 1 minus 4. So this becomes a sub 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. -4 minus 4 is -8. A sub 3 minus 6. And then the initial condition was that f of 1 equals 2, so this is equal to 2. So in order to find a sub 3, we divide by -6. 2 over -6 equals a sub 3, okay? Which means that -1/3 equals a sub 3. And then you will just plug that into your function, okay? So this becomes -1/3 times x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x. And if you want to simplify it, you just distribute the -1/3 and you have this. And that'll be your final answer. Now, for the next ones, I'm going to assume that a sub 3 equals to 1. Okay? So we can calculate the problem faster. Now, same deal, right? F of x as linear factors. So x minus radical 2. X minus radical 2 becomes plus radical 2. And then x minus 3. Here, I want you to FOIL the ones with radicals. Okay? X times x is x squared. X times radical 2 is x radical 2. Negative radical 2 times x is negative x radical 2. Negative radical 2 times radical 2 is negative radical 4. Now we simplify. So x squared minus this is equal to 0. minus radical 4, which is 2. And now we FOIL. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Okay? Notice again that the initial condition was that a sub 3 is equal to 1, so there's no a sub 3. Same thing here. So let me use a different color. So f of x equals x minus. Here it's a little bit tricky. Notice that you have 1 plus 6i. I'm going to write that in parentheses. And then x minus the same thing in parentheses. And then x plus 4. Now, this now becomes x minus 1 minus 6i. Notice that the negative has to distribute. The same thing here, x minus 1 plus 6i, and then x plus 4. Now, my suggestion is that you multiply the i's first, so the conjugates of each other. Now, how do we multiply a trio, right? Because you got to treat these values as independent. So it's almost like a triple FOIL. So first, x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative x. And x times 6i is positive 6ix. Then comes the second term. So negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And negative 1 times 6i is negative 6i. The last one, negative 6i times x is negative 6ix. Negative 6i times negative 1 is positive 6i. And then negative 6i times positive 6i is negative 36i squared. Okay. Times x plus 4. Now, even though it looks crazy, there's a lot of terms that are going to cancel out. So x squared minus x is minus 2x. 6ix minus 6i is 0. So plus 1. And then negative 6i. So this becomes 0 with this and with this. You're left with minus 36i squared, but I squared is negative 1. So now you have left x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 36 times x plus 4. X squared minus 2x plus 37 times x plus 4. And then we FOIL that. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 4 is 4x squared. Negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times 4 is negative 8x. 37 times x is 37x. And 37 times 4 is, let's do it old school. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, so 148. And then simplify like terms. 4x squared minus 2x squared is 2x squared. Negative 8x plus 37 is plus 29x plus 148. And that'll be how you will solve that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, subscribe to Mr. Bonet, or look at my website www.multirow.com.